Hey, just want to talk about Rush stuff again. Topic for today is power cards. So what is a power card in my definition? Honestly, it's hard to say. If this is TCGOCG, it is like Naturia Mole Cricket. This is not to be confused with boss monsters or win cons. There's no such thing as a real one-card combo in Rush, but there are cards that can be strong or do a lot of things, sometimes with the right GY setup. I won't talk about Legends and limit it to one specifically, but Legends might be brought up since there are cards that reuse them. I can't talk all about it though since there's like decent amount of cards in Rush. So maybe I'll do a part 2. This isn't a top 10 video also. But yeah, some cards are just not created equally. So yeah, let's get into it. Phoenix Dragon, this card enabled toolboxing using high-level dragons. To define toolboxing, it is the process of picking a tool for the current situation in a toolbox. That tool is a dragon you need in a GY. Cards you can potentially get with Phoenix are Shock Dragon, it makes Big Bone Goose smaller. Dragias, can attack twice, can potentially do a direct attack. Bluetooth, get this when you if you have Light Ray or opponent using weenies. Mirroring Wyvern, can revive high stat vanilla for Swarm or Dragon Tribe Fusion plays. Player 99, the card itself is a power card due to reshuffling Phoenix, it gets a big boost, and gets you an extra attacker. You need to build your deck specifically for it though. Duel Corretals, discount Dragias is good, less resource required and good enough for clearing weenies. Honestly there's like more cards Phoenix can recover such as Fire Guardian, Porcupine Dragon, Maximum Dragias Part, Ancient Arise, Red Boot, Meta Gias, Zero Gias, Die Gias. Not saying you fit it all in your deck, but Phoenix do carry a lot. It gives the deck a focus strategy and tech options all in one card. It also combos well with Execute Up. Can be splashed to any other deck as long as you put targets. For the next card, Malevolent Seller, requiring Malevolent Catastrophe specifically in GY is kinda hard. But when it's active, by itself, it can pop one monster and get a legend, then you could get Malevolent Catastrophe back for next turn, which itself is a decent play. But the power can go even beyond. The legend I recommend for you to recover is Monster Reborn, which allows you to revive a second copy of Seller, and potentially do another pop plus revive. It's not only for wiping opponents' monsters, but you can also reborn a boss monster in either player's GY. You get tribute fodder for a high level in hand. Other legend I recommend is probably the Creator, which potentially has a loop with Ken Melody. It is possible to use for other legends that isn't Creator or Monster Reborn. It does require to pop something to recover things, so if opponent is on very defensive strategy, getting to resolve this might be hard. This card is usually paired with Celestial Reverence to dig for Malevolent Catastrophe. Lurker is good also for dealing with opponent's back row, and you get to use the tribute fodders that Seller makes. Next is Execute Flame. This card feels like a low level due to how easy her summoning requirements are. It outstats most low level, so as a beater it's pretty good. Her effect also outstat even 2500 monster is also pretty neat. It has a negative of not being able to attack though. But there are times you want to go defensive anyway, and just have Flame as the only monster for battle. Gotta play around that Radiant Mirror Force after all. Though, if you are doing aggro, having 1700 is better than low levels at least. Having 2 other high levels with Flame versus a high level monster can give your Flame 4100 attack. Enough to beat a maximum or even snipe lethal. You can also run Dragon Lion Pit Trap and having Flame as your tribute fodder to use as a high value interruption. This card also good in Execute decks and sometimes against Execute decks. The real negative though is that there are cards that counters just one big attacks like Execute Break and Magic Cylinder. So even Execute can counter Flame. But as a solo card, it is quite flexible. Manifestriction Dragon Max Seal. By the way, this is not a dragon, it's a sea serpent. The cost will require a dedicated deck, but I think Max Seal is pretty strong. It locks opponent from tribute summoning face up. Most Execute if cannot special will have to go face down with their dinky 500 depths. But not just that, but a lot of 2 tributes have 1500 defense for some reason. Even if you couldn't clear their monsters, Max Seal still slows M for a turn. There are ways to reuse such as opening your board with Lurker, so that Max Seal will be alone again. Slowing opponent's tempo could go nicely for next turn to develop for a level 10 beatdown strat. Or for maximum decks, your opponent are unable to go aggro, which gives you more turns to draw your maximum. Besides this, it has a decent stat and an easy self-summoning effect. Last card for today is Amazing Dealer. This card is very funny, sometimes using it can ruin your hand instead of fixing it. But there are times where Amazing Dealer saves your life because it unbricks a bad hand. You have the option to not use its effect. You just need judgment skills and knowledge of your ratios. There are times also on turn 2 where it didn't die, you can fix the hand of your next turn. There are also times when using it twice is a play, when you draw a second copy. Not only it fixes your hand, but fills your GY up very fast. It combines well with Pot of Arrogance. It opens up more choices to discard. Has nice interaction with cards that require low LP, cause it has LP cost for some reason. The worst that could happen though is that your opponent uses trad tax on you. My suggestion is always discard monsters and draw spells. Do not discard cards you want on first turn, like Lurker. But that's about it. Sadly can't give a full guide on how to use it, cause even I misplay with it sometimes. Oh, and this guy bricks on future turns, but hey, at least it can be used as tribute fodder. So yeah, that's all for now. Now get out, I mean wait for part 2.